Alright, hello everybody, welcome to another YouTube video. I am Robelle Autonomy and welcome to another video about Zenless Zone Zero. Today we are looking at the new drip marketing for the newest character, another member of the Spook Shack. So let's take a look here real quick. Alright, here we go. Really excited. Let's hop right into it.
Alice Thymefield. On behalf of the Thymefield family, I extend my regards to you.
And there she is, very cute. Alright, one thing does not have the spooky, lighting change that we had on Yuzuha's drip marketing, but if you take a look, she is animated, indicating she is an S rank. And then also, on top of that, we see she is physical anomaly. Very odd choice. And the reason it's super duper odd is because we already have two physical anomaly units in the game now. We have Piper, and then we also have Jane Doe. So how is Alice going to be different than everyone else? And what is going to convince players to pull this character over their Jane Doe or their invested Piper? Of course, I really do think that the thing we're really pulling for when it comes to Zenless Zone Zero isn't the stats and everything, because these characters, they're pretty decently balanced. I'm seeing people clear the end game with A rank units. What we're really into is their playstyle and their moveset, because every character plays so uniquely different. They play so cool and fun that I find myself doubling up on characters, types that I already have. For example, alright, even if you already have Soldier 11, right, she has a very sustained DPS playstyle where you have to time your button presses, but Evelyn has this fun mechanic where you try to cancel in the chain attacks to increase her DPS output. Of course, Evelyn is a little bit stronger, but I'm still clearing the endgame with Soldier 11, so I'd say it's pretty darn good. So here we have Alice, and I'm really curious how they're gonna make her play. I mean, there's so much they can do with physical anomaly, right? Specifically the interactions with assault. For example, Piper, she just kind of does a lot of AoE assault, but it's all based on her EX skill. So she can essentially spin to win and then take out large groups of enemies in a very quick amount of time. And then it's fun to play her because it's that management between energy and then also keeping up the anomaly bar, right? Jane Doe is fun because, well, her assaults hit really hard. And she's a really fast character. She moves so quickly. So I'm really curious, what is Alice gonna do that's different from those two? What is it that makes Alice so cool compared to them? Now, for me, it's kind of crazy because Jane Doe, her assaults hit hard because they can crit, right? But if we look at Alice over here, she is a fencer, alright? She has the long sword here. Another thing, if you look, her sword actually has little indents on it. Almost like, you know those toy lightsabers that retract? It looks like that. And if you notice on her hip, right over here, there is a pointy item that looks mysteriously like the handle of her sword over here. At least that's what I'm noticing right now. So I'm thinking she's not going to use one, she's going to use two swords. Perhaps a pen ratio scaling character? That would be really cool. That would increase the stonks for Rena. She had a downgrade in her value because Rapture characters ignore defense, but she had an upgrade in her value because the new enemies have high defense, and so using Arena with your non-Rapture characters is a good way to counter those new enemy types. No, it's pretty fun. If you look at Jane Doe, she can make assaults crit, and that itself is pretty darn cool. I'm thinking maybe Alice just speeds up how many times that you can apply assault. I feel like that would be a really cool way to do it, right? Having an insanely high anomaly buildup rate, but then maybe they nerf her assault damage, right? So it's like assault, or maybe maybe we go for more of like a super duper nuke assault. Like even more so than Jane, but then like her application is terrible. So you want to have like a, again, remember we have Yuzuha already and she is confirmed to be, alright, a physical support unit. And now that we see that Alice is anomaly, it makes me wonder, is Yuzuha going to be like an anomaly version of Astra Yao? Because remember, Astra buffs attack, but she also buffs crit, right? People use Astra with the anomaly characters, but it's not a perfect fit. And then I know a lot of people are paying attention to the physical status of Yuzuha, but let's be real here. Alright, Yuzuha does not need, her element almost doesn't matter just because she's a support, unless she is buffing specifically assault or physical units in general. But I kind of hope Zenless Zone Zero doesn't specialize their characters to that level. Like for example, Lighter is very, very specialized, but Lighter focuses more on he focuses more on both fire and ice. So at the very least, he has two types of teams that he can play in, right? So I don't think Yuzuha is going to be focused purely on physical supports. Anyway, let's take a look at the other art. Alright, and here we have the agent record for Alice Thymefield. Very, very excited for her. She seems really, really cool. Quite excited for this, alright. Peels of 100 demons, endless mysteries await. Hey, is it really okay for me to join an organization like this? It looks like she is the newest member of the Spook Shack, and she is unsure because the Spook Shack is kind of a sketchy organization. Let's see here. We have a quote from her right here. What is that thing? My apologies. Coming from a scholarly family, I shouldn't have lost my composure like this. Theory stems from limits of our understanding, so while I swing my sword, I'm counting on you to track those anomalous parameters and identify the enemy's true form. Alright, I'll be honest, her saying true form sounds very much like Joker from Persona 5. I know it's an annoying comparison to make, but it's just kind of funny that, you know, yeah, he is one-to-one with that show me your true form kind of mentality. But yeah, here she is. We have a higher resolution look at the art, and she looks very, very cute. You can see she has these like balls that people put their hair in twin tails in. The flippin', and these are popular in New Eridu. Right, Chingy has these, the flippin' Yuzuha has these, and now we have Alice with them. But Alice has a little bit more with this little, she has two things for her twin tails. Her ears are really, really cute. I don't know what kind of Thyron she is, but she's probably like, I'm assuming it's a bunny, but it might be a chinchilla. I think it's a chinchilla actually. I'm gonna change that. I think it's a chinchilla. Very, very cute. I hope she has a little tiny short poofy tail. Or maybe it's like a guinea pig. I don't know. The ears curve in, so it's a very specific type of thing. Looks like she's joining this organization, the Spook Shack. I don't know why she's joining it. Clearly she's from like a more rich family. But yeah. I like the heterochromia. I don't know. It's like a fun thing. The big thing is I like heterochromia on characters that aren't too detailed, because it's like you can only have so many elements on a character before it's too much, if you know what I mean. And I feel like Zenless Zone Zero has really done a fantastic job of just keeping the characters not too complicated, but still keeping them interesting. Like here, she's clearly wearing, I assume this is a schoolgirl outfit. It looks quite similar to one. But it could be more of just like a uniform for the organization. Who knows? Who knows? I know a lot of people were pointing out that the bow on the front very much matches the, what's her name? One of the NPC characters, the one from Lycon's story quest. This little bow on front matches her uniform, so it could be that thing, or it could just be an accessory for people of high society. I don't know, I'm pretty excited for these new characters. I don't know if I'm gonna pull them. From a design standpoint, I'm definitely more interested in Yuzuha, but seeing that Alice is physical anomaly, I get the feeling she's gonna be a lot of fun, right? Is she gonna be an on-field unit? Is she gonna be an off-field unit? That's also, there's potential for that. Definitely, I mean, obviously you're supposed to pair the S-rank support Yuzuha with her, right? They're the same team. Or it could be like a Vivian situation, where it's like Hugo and Vivian don't really mesh well together, but they're the same faction. I'm really, really curious, you know? there's so much they can do with like the ZZZ like systems, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface. So hopefully season 2 continues to deliver on really, really cool character kits. That's for me. I think for now, Alice from a design standpoint is a skip, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe her gameplay is fire, right? Another thing to point out, I don't know why, but her belt is smiling. The belt smiling really makes me think. It really makes me think that maybe, just maybe she's got something special going on, but who knows? Who knows? Alright, it would be funny if he was like a character that has no expressions and then the belt shows everything. Kinda like how Trigger, you can't see her eyes, but then it changes colors. But we did see her in the teaser and she was very scared in there. So maybe she's a character with lots of composure, but once the composure breaks, she becomes adorable. I feel like that's a pretty good character archetype to fall into. Anyways, what do you guys think of Alice? Alice Thymefield. Alright, let me know down in the comments below. Alright, are you gonna be pulling? Are you pulling in 2.0 and you're just cooked because you have no pulls left? Or are you gonna skip the Jufufu and go for Yuzuha and Alice? Right now, I think the 2.0 characters look incredibly interesting. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, alright? And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe, alright? Bell notification, because we are going to be talking more and more about Zenless Zone Zero, not just theory crafting, but also talking about the fun aspects of the game and the things that I love about it. Anyway, with that one, hope you all had a good one. Remember, and 10 waves are nice, so I will see you all next time. Bye!